the myth, he's the legend, he's the scientist with all the answers and all the questions. It's time for another episode of Alex's Science Corner.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. No, please, thank you.
So what's going on in the wide world of science,
what's falling from
friend?
the sky today?
What's falling from the sky today, or sometime this weekend, is going to be the Chinese space station. And it's a Tiangong-1, or the translation is Heavenly Palace. And they're expecting it sometime this weekend to come back to Earth. Where it's going to come down? Don't know.
Is anybody's guess, huh?
Yeah. If you're in Antarctica, you're safe. Other than that, it could come down anywhere in the world. Now, since most of the world is water, it's probably going to come down over water, either the Pacific or Indian Ocean. There's otherwise...
They seriously don't have any... They haven't been able to project where this is going to land?
Well, I mean, if they could do that, they'd say where it is. Unfortunately, what happens is due to temperatures and weather conditions over certain parts of its orbit, that is going to adjust how fast it comes down. So if there's a high pressure area, if it passes over a high pressure area, it's going to slow down the spacecraft a little more. If it goes over a low pressure area, it's not going to slow down as much because there's a little bit of atmosphere and that's slowing it down. And as it gets slower and slower, then it starts dropping into the atmosphere, and the different weather conditions in the very, very, very high altitudes are going to adjust its speed. And if its speed is adjusted, then that's going to change its location when it falls.
I was reading an article about this. Mm-hmm. I think I posted it on the Saturday Morning Club Facebook page. But some scientist was saying that this is kind of evidence. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, that perhaps the Chinese program isn't as advanced as ours because he said you should be able to control the descent to some degree and then plan, at least to have an idea where this thing's going to drop.
Yeah, and the Russians and Americans have been doing that, and we try to adjust ours. Russia tries to have their stuff fall back on Russia in like Siberia where it's unpopulated, but all the debris lands in Russian territory so that
nobody steals their secrets.
Yeah, exactly. And the U.S. tries to have it fall over the ocean because we don't want debris hitting people. So we
also have a nice Navy that can go pick it up.
No. If you land on the middle of the Indian Ocean, you're not going to be picking that stuff up. It's going to be debris scattered over miles of area.
Oh, so we're adding to the garbage in the ocean.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But we don't want to have that stuff hitting people. A lot of it's going to burn up in the atmosphere, but some of the bigger chunks may still fall down, and they don't want it hitting people, so we aim for the oceans.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now,
I got a question.
We also have thrusters and other maneuvering things that we can adjust it, so we can push the orbit down faster, and that helps guide it so that we can get it positioned or aimed in a general area. We can't hit a spot, but, it's like we're aiming for the middle of the Pacific Ocean. We can hit the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
So the Chinese aren't quite there yet.
No.
So why was this is a space station. Why was this not connected up to the International Space Station?
Because we do not have any deals with China to work together with them for this. And in fact, Congress passed several laws that does not allow NASA to do any deals with the Chinese Space Agency.
Because they're afraid they're going to steal the technology.
Yeah, and, there's also, like, we're angry at China for some reason, so we don't want to do deals with them. So what happens is China's developing all this stuff on their own. So they may be a bit behind, but they have all the technology that they've been using to get the space station up, they've created themselves. Whereas now we're working with other partners, so they may know something that we don't, but we're relying on them to do that part of it. So it's a mixed bag. Instead of having China help us and we help China, China's doing it all on their own.
It's funny, I didn't even realize they had a space station up there.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a pretty good space.
Not
they've
anymore.
Had Chinese astronauts. No, but they're going to be putting another one up too. And I mean, they've got a pretty substantial space program. for a country. I mean, it's a big country, but it's where we were in the 60s.
They're going to take over,
So-
baby.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, what we're able to do right now, we're able to do because we're splitting the load between us and Europe and Russia.
But there's also there's also a sharing of knowledge too. I think.
Yeah, there's
to
a
a
sharing
large
of knowledge,
extent.
right? And that's one of the pluses is we get to share knowledge, and we share the costs. The downside is if there's something that one of our, like for example, on the space station and on the old space shuttles, the robotic control arms that maneuver stuff around, those are made by Canada. And we don't have any company in the U.S. that can make those robot arms at the moment. And so if we decided that we wanted to do it, that means the U.S. companies have to spend time and money to learn how to do that and build it for us. Whereas Canada has an industry, or at least a company, that has that technology already developed.
Okay, so when are we expecting the debris to come through its ceiling?
Sometime this weekend.
All right.
Between yesterday, which hasn't happened as of this time right now, so between now and Monday morning, they expect it to
So
come down.
hide in your basement under a bed.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Bedside, you're not going to see anything. If it comes down during the daytime, you might see a little bit of flash in the sky if you happen to be underneath it when it goes over. But more likely than not, it's probably going to end up in the Pacific or Indian Ocean.
All right, what else you got for us, Ox?
So the second thing is, I refer to it as a zombie star. That is not the most accurate term because there is an actual astronomy term for zombie star. And I'll go into that a little bit later. But
Now, are you talking about members of The Walking Dead? I heard some of this earlier.
Bobby, please don't derail the story. Alex, proceed.
yeah. So what happened was they were monitoring this binary pair. And most stars in our galaxy are actually part of a binary pair. Two stars together, different size. The stars can be of different sizes, but most of the stars in our galaxy are actually part of a pair. Two stars orbiting each other. Now, in this particular case, one of the stars had died and become a neutron star. But what they were able to find is that this neutron star would be collecting material off of the partner star, which is a red giant. And so this red giant would be blowing out material. The material would be falling on this neutron star, and the neutron star, when this material would fall on it, would start flashing. And it would relight for a little while and start putting out X-ray light. And so they've only seen something like this happen like about 8 or 9 times since we've been doing this kind of level.
And this is in our galaxy,
Yes.
not outside of our galaxy.
It's in our galaxy. And what it is for a brief moment, the neutron star, which is a dead star, relights. Now, it's only producing light in the X-ray light range, which is way above what we would see in visible light, but it is flashing. So it's one of those things that as the red giant gives off material, it lands and enough accumulates that the neutron star relights for a short time. So that is, some have been referring to it as a zombie star, but there's actual thing called a zombie star. And what a zombie star is, normally when a star goes supernova, it blows up and whatever remnant is left will collapse back in and either become a white dwarf or a neutron star or a black hole. Well, some stars, when after the supernova explosion, still have enough material left to relight as a star. So it blows up, but there's a star still burning there, not a neutron star or a black hole, but a star. And that's what a zombie star. That's what astronomers refer to as a zombie star.
It's gone, but not completely.
No,
Not
it's
forgotten.
it's like it lost a lot of weight.
All right. Any final questions before we throw it out to the audience?
Yeah, you said that there's usually 2 stars together. Where's ours in our?
Well, not all stars. We,
Okay.
when stars form, a lot of times the 2 stars will form together, and then they'll start orbiting each other. Sometimes if there's like 3 stars that are formed together, the gravity interactions will throw out the 3rd star.
Okay.
And so there's whatever our twin star or our part of our triplet, it's been gone for 4 billion
Long
years.
time.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That's it.
All right. We're going to throw it out to the audience. If you have any questions about these 2 science stories or anything else science related, you may call Alex right now at 203
837
99.
24.